In Education Matters, it has been a busy week for Memphians at the state capitol, with two local lawmakers proposing bills calling for the state takeover of the Memphis-Shelby County School Board. Joining us now to share his thoughts on the matter is Representative Tory Harris of Memphis, who's also chairman of the Shelby County delegation. Chairman Harris, welcome back to WREG at 3. Good to see you. How have you been?
So good to see you as well, Alex. I've been well. We could be better, but I'm doing well.
So with that in mind, let's start with, before we talk about the bill and other things involved and other lawmakers, your personal thoughts on this proposed takeover bill that's in the House, proposed by Representative Mark White.
Yeah, listen, this bill has been something that has been in the works, even beyond what I think most people would think started when our school superintendent was terminated. But I believe what we've come up with now is a much more extreme piece of legislation that goes a little bit further than what I believe the intent the sponsor initially had of the legislation. And so there's some problems with it. I think the school takeover is what most people are calling it. While I do think that we do need some school intervention, I don't think the school takeover method is the direction that we should be going in.
So, Chairman Harris, what are you hearing from both sides of the aisles, from everybody in the delegation itself? Obviously, there are some who are saying, yeah, we need some type of change, but as you pointed out earlier for yourself, this is perceived as being extreme by some.
Yeah, I think from both sides and different angles, this has been a huge conversation for a lot of us. In our delegation, I will say that for the most part, we all agree that something does need to happen, but our method for how that happens is different. This legislation here would end up taking away a lot of the power from our school board, and we believe that what needs to happen is that there is some type of workaround. We're actually having meetings. I met with Mark White, Representative White, earlier today to really go through and comb through the legislation to figure out where we can actually meet the road. I think from our conversation that there's going to be a lot of change to this piece of legislation that's going to come, that you're going to see. We'll see amendments that will take place over the next couple of weeks. The expectation that this bill is going to run next week in committee, I don't want the community to think that's going to happen. It's going to take us a little time to make it through this piece of legislation and really get it to a place where both the state and the local community are able to be comfortable with something happening. This legislation is going to pass. Something's going to pass in some form, right? And so we just want to make sure that whatever passes, it passes and does not hurt both our children, our community, and our school system. So we're going to try to do all we can to make changes together with other partners.
Also, as you well know, several Memphians got on buses, got in their cars. They made it to the state capitol this week, some of whom actually had a chance to speak before your fellow lawmakers as well. We're also hearing locally, Chairman Harris, that some Memphians, some groups, some county commissioners are proposing their own alternative plans. Do you think they stand a chance of actually being heard by some lawmakers?
Absolutely. I will definitely say that Representative White is very open to the conversation of what can actually take place. His ultimate goal, like he said to me, was that he just wants to see some changes happen and what we can do to make that happen and get people to the table. He has put this out there now. And so now at this point, we need people to come to the table and come up with solutions so we can make sure that our school system works well and works better. The individuals who have come up to visit with us and talk with us have been great in giving us feedback. I've received some really great ideas, both from commissioners and school board members, on different ways that we can actually make something happen, because we know something will take place. We've just got to be prepared and not be so reactionary. I think one of the things that I will say is that if they haven't spoken with us directly, an elected official that's up here at the state that has to deal with this directly, it makes it very hard for us to get the community on board because what has happened is there's so much different information out there, individuals speaking on legislation that they haven't even really combed through themselves. And so we've really got to make sure that people are going to the source to find out what is happening with this school takeover legislation, so that way we're not spreading information that is false or that we're making sure that the information that we're trying to do actually happens. This piece of legislation could change drastically.
Right. One last thing I want to ask you before we're almost out of time here. There's also been one idea kind of tossed around that possibly the Shelby County Commission, which had a no confidence vote, which some say kind of triggered this takeover procedure here, should maybe rescind that vote. Would you agree with that? Would that maybe lead to a change here?
Honestly, I don't believe that would change anything about the legislation that we're doing right now. If they were to go back and rescind their vote or make any change, that has already taken place and it's already happened. At this point now, we've got to figure out as a whole. We're meeting over the next few days as a group, both us, the legislature, the school board, and the commission, to kind of try to figure out ways to move forward. So we'll be having some deep conversations. We have multiple different ideas out there, and I think that we have some ways to work around potentially seeing how we can maybe just get appointments on the board rather than a board that's overseeing our board. So we've got some ways to work around. I don't know if necessarily resending documents that they've already done, that just brings up old news and just makes things worse. All
right, Representative Tory Harris, chairman of the Shelby County delegation. Always good to see you. We appreciate you taking the time to be on the 3 p.m.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.